4 tips to not give yourself extreme anxiety or mental illness. Now, first of all, I'm not a doctor, so this is not to replace advice from your medical professional. So first tip is get to bed at a decent hour. Ideally before 10 o'clock and definitely before 11 o'clock on most nights if you can. And there's a simple biological reason for this, is that we are simply designed to be awake during the day. And when nighttime comes, the system is designed to rest so the organs can repair and the brain can reorganize and repair itself. So when we stay up late, past 10, past 11, past 12, we are simply putting on extra strain on the system and on the brain, which is easily avoidable if we simply went to bed earlier. Tip number 2 is avoid using your phone and devices late in the evening. Now this is to do more with eye movements, and in Chinese medicine we say that the eyes are connected to the heart, and the heart is connected to the spirit, or the state of consciousness, or in other words, the mind. So when we overstimulate the eyes, it tends to increase the heart rate. Increasing the heart rate makes it difficult to sleep and difficult to settle down for sleep. So when we use our phones, when we use fast flickering images at nighttime, it agitates the system. It agitates the mind, it agitates the spirit, and if this goes on for a long period of time, it can easily lead to anxiety, paranoia, and mild to extreme forms of mental illness. So tip number 3 is a simple one: exercise. Everyone knows this is true, and it's becoming more and more obvious that exercise is a very simple and time-tested way to keep your system functioning at optimal levels. Exercise really allows the system to kind of turn over and clean itself. If you can imagine, like you're putting oil through the system, or you're turning the system over. So this allows the blood and the energy to circulate with more efficiency, and therefore the whole system works better. So exercise is a really simple way to keep your system regulated. And tip number 4, I call this EFT, or the letting go technique. So EFT is a modern psychotherapeutic tool which is used to help reorganize and rebalance the brain, particularly whenever there's a stress present. A stress being a particular memory or a particular reaction to something creates a stressful chemical neurological pattern inside the mind, inside the system. And what is often happening in most human beings is that that pattern just keeps getting replayed and reinforced. So we have to find a way to stop that pattern being reinforced and replayed all the time. And that's what's happening for most of us. So I found EFT, and I've been working with using EFT for many years on hundreds of people. And it's one of the fastest ways to break that pattern and break that loop of the stress being triggered in the system. And basically, when we break that stress, break that pattern, is that it's much easier for the brain to calm down and the system to calm down and to function at much better levels. So EFT is very powerful, very simple at helping to reduce the stressful triggers that are inside the system. And the letting go technique works on a very similar principles, though it's learning more about how to let go of particular negative emotions.